Greetings, sending awesome, warm, positive vibrations. This is Body-Culinary, and I wanted to come on today just to um, show you if you have purchased any of the little Afro amulets, or perhaps you have some of your own sacred pieces. I'm going to just come on and just clean them. So these are mine. I have the cowrie, which is my favorite symbol of femininity. I have Afro. I also have the Bantu knots, which I don't have on right now. And I also have the one that says ugly, which is a type of medicine. So I'm very big on precious pieces that have a lot of meaning to me. And I have a tendency to not wear a whole lot of jewelry, but I will wear things that either I know who the creator is, or sometimes I make them myself. And so I feel like they're infused with my own personal energy. So, for those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Body-Culinary, professional chef, personal trainer, natural-born woman, lover of a natural lifestyle, or as close as I can get to it in these times that we're living in. And on this channel, I like to share part of my journey of radical self-acceptance. And part of what that looks like is accepting the unique features that you popped out onto the planet with, really celebrating them and finding ways to really rock them in a way that fits you and doesn't drive you crazy, where you can really sit in the throne of your own existence. I also love to encourage you to start a garden, cultivate a garden, because it's so deeply therapeutic, to reactivate or start a personal movement practice. Again, this is one of our self therapies that we have access to. And I love to encourage peaceful consumption. What that looks like over here is consumption, eating patterns that are focused around whole, fresh, living fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, sprouted legumes, fresh ground spices, because not only are they delicious, they really boost the immune system, and they really furnish your body and really nourish your body, so that you're eating for vitality, for longevity, and for your mood, right? Food that loves you back. So perhaps you're invited to try it on, being guided by that principle that would help your food choices to kind of fall in line, and it makes things a lot easier. So those are the types of things that I share on this channel. And so today, these are one of my favorite pieces. This is hand cut, and this one. And when you have little delicate pieces like this is a bronze, and it can pick up and will likely pick up um, your sweat from your body, right? So I'm just going to clean them here right now, and I have a little jewelry cloth. Sometimes you can find these at a discount store, perhaps even at a Walmart or a Kmart or something like that, or anywhere where they sell jewelry. This piece, I actually made this ring myself. I am a lover of cowries, so I'm just going to clean these. So they will pick up sweat from your body. And shout out to all of those that are rocking the Bantu knots and the Afro. I love delicate pieces. And what I like to do is just shine it daily. I'll give it like a little bit of a shine with a jewelry cloth, so I don't have to use any chemicals. And I find in shining it every day, it's kind of almost like a renewing. It's a part of my ritual. I just take a few moments when I get out of the shower, and I like to just shine them up so I can see that little bit of a shine. So you can take a moment every day or every other day to give it that shine. So it's kind of like, we have pearls. I like pearls too, but I love really unique pieces. So every time I look at this, and now that I think of it, that is a pattern. There are certain pieces, it could sound esoteric. You say they're infused with energy. I would make that even more practical, because I love practical wisdom and practical spirituality. Spirituality really is very practical. Infused with energy, there's an intention, and it's also a memory that I'm accessing, and an intention every time that I shine it. So like some folks have their pearls, or if you think of suits, they have a certain kind of energy. Whenever you see a suit, you think of business. When you see pearls, you may think of old money. Whenever I see a cowrie, I think of my culture. The wonderful things about my culture, I definitely think of dance, which is my one of my biggest therapies. And when I think of Afro, it just definitely has a whole energy to it and a whole meaning behind it, because this really represents me embracing the unique doctrine of signature, or the unique marker of beauty or even of confidence, unique expression, a unique genetic marker that I have, and I really embrace it. So when I'm shining this up, that's what I'm thinking of. So usually a smile will come to my face as I'm shining it. And to see it go from a little dull from my sweat from exercising to shiny, it's always like a little, just a small ritual of recommitment. So that is the power of your rituals. Or you can create rituals that have meaning for you, where you're literally, in the most practical sense, reprogramming yourself. We hear the term programming. We've been programmed. We hear Illuminati. We hear a lot of this term, and it has relevance. However, uh, I'm definitely of the mindset of being very proactive and writing my own narrative intentionally. I'm not about to sit here and just, play the victim. That doesn't really work for me. So, any kind of tools that I can use for myself to make myself feel good and to affirm myself, I'm going to do that. So, when I'm spending my money, usually somebody made this other little ring for me. And I love delicate little pieces also when I'm exercising, they don't get in the way. But now the afro, you see how it's got a little bling to it? So everybody's got their stuff. It's wonderful. Representation matters. To see yourself celebrated matters. And so who is going to celebrate you if you don't celebrate yourself and you don't intentionally put that energy into and on yourself? So afro, this is something very distinct. I love the term afro because whether you are from Brazil or Haiti, the continent, which has so many countries in it, or you are an Afro person of the States, this is a unique genetic marker. It is a doctrine of signature, and it is imbibed. All of us have our different markers and our representation on the planet. It's very distinct when you see slanted eyes or you see pale skin, and folks have their different expressions of beauty, their different things that are attractive in their culture, whether it's being very slim, very pale, very voluptuous. So representation matters. So why not represent yourself? So I love to shine up my little cowrie. And also I love the fact that my cowrie, I rest it right at my throat chakra, right? Or that energy of my throat. So when I think of speaking up for myself, affirming myself, right? Actually, if I think of one of the principles of Kwanzaa, self-determination, to define ourselves, to name ourselves, to create for ourselves instead of being defined, named, created for, and spoken for by others. That's a very practical principle. So creating your version, this would be like, not a pearl, but almost like you could think of like my version of a pearl. And so every time I shine it, just this one little ritual, right? The ritual of the exercise, it represents something, right? You have a whole internal dialogue for that particular ritual. When people go to church or they do communion or they different types of ceremonies and rituals are a way to put different types of lessons or wisdom inside of your mental Rolodex and to access them in seconds, right? Because you're infusing them with meaning, right? So I love to shine up my little cowrie and my little afro. So they mean a lot to me. Also, they're nice and delicate and they're dainty. So they're very feminine and I can keep them on while I'm exercising. So I love when I'm looking in the mirror to see them. They represent me. Anyone can wear them if you want. That's on you. So only you can determine what meaning they have for you. These also, and visiting the Garifuna down south, these were handmade. So I really love unique pieces that are made by hand with a lot of meaning and intention. So this was from a local artist. So I will shine up my bling. So I think it's so interesting, if we think of, I remember when they had nameplate earrings and name earrings and name belts, and all of that stuff. A lot of it was very carbon copy. Everyone was doing it. So you'll have to craft what your eating ritual, what it means for you, how it makes you feel, what it does for you, and also what you wear, your ritual. We're creating meaning for ourselves. And if we're not, usually somebody else is creating the meaning and the narrative for you. So I usually will go over like with the two pieces, and I think you can pretty much find usury cloths anywhere. You have one side that kind of cleans and one side that shines. You can have these forever. So this is what I'm using to shine up my little pieces, right, that have meaning for me. And these actually are not too heavy. Back in the day, you would wear sometimes earrings that were so heavy they would rip your little earlobes. So I think it's very, very important. So that's how I'm shining up my jewelry over here. So something else I just wanted to touch on this Chanel is just something that I observed in the internet climate. And that is, just a tendency of folks. It's not limited to males and females. We can have a tendency in scrolling through the internet, looking for hairstyles, looking for conversations to get into, looking for excitement, looking for gossip. We can have a tendency sometimes, or folks, humans can have a tendency to have what I found is sometimes be kind of like a mob like mentality, a very herd like mentality. And in particular, we have a tendency to um, project um, our opinions or our religious beliefs onto others, right? All of us can do that, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, meat eater, keto, vegan bodybuilder, your religion, And yeah, I'm not here for it. And you have to, think about it. You only have so much time. There's so much that is competing for your bandwidth and for your attention. And I just think it's interesting. Sometimes if you think, I'm like, what is going through people's minds? And I'm a flawed human being, just like anybody else. But I have to wonder sometimes what is going through people's minds when you go on to someone else's channel, when you're scrolling through the internet and you go onto somebody's channel and you blurt out, this is the truth, this is what you should be doing, this is what you should be eating. Now, wisdom does come with life experience. I have to say, I think I've been there. Maybe not the same on social media. I don't know. But anyway, I just think of that. Sometimes it comes across, it can come across as a type of I can't see, as a type of bullying or demanding, but I don't know. It's like, what kind of, when we put out communications like that, I think we're looking definitely for a response. I wonder, like, are people looking for a fight, for excitement with these strangers that you don't know on the internet, looking to get a rise out of people, looking, and I see it in particular with religion. Now, I've grown up in a Pentecostal family, and I've explored different types of religions and spiritual practices and so on. And, I get it. There's a lot of fright and fear, and folks, there's a doomsday. There's been all types of natural catastrophes throughout the ages. Human beings have done all different types of deviancy of every single religion and used different types of, you know, universal truths mixed with people's personal agendas, such as human beings. But I just think it's interesting. I wonder if folks slow down enough to ever consider what it is that you're looking for online when you're scrolling to have these interactions. And, your time is so precious. Let's say you win the debate or your religious perspective is right. What do you come away with? Did you come away with a skill? Did you come across, or did you come away more inspired to get into action around what you say you value? Do you feel like you changed somebody spiritually and you saved the soul? I just think it's really interesting. So I just find, I chide myself, or I just remind myself. Sometimes I'm in amazement, and sometimes I just remind myself it's strangers, on the internet looking to get a rise and maybe feeling lonely somewhere, and in your little box or our little boxes, and looking to communicate with people. But when you finally get a chance to communicate with people, if there's a bullying or a forcing, it's not very attractive. However, at the same time, you can also find people that are willing to go back and forth with you. And I just find at the end, what are you, if you think about it, what are you left with? Perhaps part of it is just a distraction, from dealing with responsibility and accountability for vices or things that we need to do or things that we're avoiding, And so I don't know, I'm a pretty open and friendly person, but I would have to say, I think sometimes, folks, there's this air that we do things that you can get away with, or the perception that you can go on to a channel, let's say for women, and let's say you go into toe to toe and you're arguing with a man. I don't know if we would do that if it was face to face. And I don't know, somehow it's just not very respectful. I don't find it very, I don't know how much we're more, our communication skills are strengthened. I don't know that our capacity to listen and to hear someone else's perspective, I don't know if that type of maturity is developed by communicating in this way, because it could be very easy to cuss somebody out. Just trying to force their agenda without your permission. So it's just something I was thinking of, because once your ego, and we all have them, and an ego, by the way, does have a purpose. It is very easy to be triggered and to go off and to cuss somebody else and to feel like a quote unquote sense of relief. How, just like with junk food, you get a sense of relief, but long term, does it strengthen you, or does it come at a cost of your peace, of your centeredness, of your focus on your goals, to argue with strangers? And at the same time, I do understand healthy boundaries and standing up for yourself. There has to be some kind of balance, but I just think, I know, for me, I don't consider myself a religious person. At this point, I feel very confident in thinking for myself, trusting myself. I can also respect other people's food choices and the different nuances from other people's cultures and their beliefs and expression. Actually, sometimes I find it quite stimulating and exciting that there are different types of human beings, on the planet. And I also have to say, I think sometimes when people have a tendency, if you don't have the tendency to go toe to toe with folks, I think folks can definitely take kindness for weakness, or people can just make assumptions and not count on consequences. I think consequences are good. I think consequences are healthy, legal, financial, and physical consequences. I think that's healthy. So anyway, these are these different contemplations. So I'm just shining up this jewelry again with a jewelry cloth. And again, I'm going to shine on one side, polish on one side, and give it a nice little buff and shine on the other side. So I don't wear a whole bunch of jewelry, but the things that I wear, I hope they are pieces. I intend to have them for years. Uh-oh, did this open up? I intend to have them for years and to pass them down to my nieces, and they all have a special meaning for me. Usually they're all handmade. Can I find any of the places? Let's see that good on camera. There we go. Right, so I plan to pass them down. They all have special meaning for me, just like my hair. So hopefully, I would love to know, do you have rituals of shining up your jewelry? And I would love to see some photos from the folks that have the Bantu knots, the Afro, and the cowrie. And again, I shine them when I get out of the shower, like every day or every other day. I just give them a little buff and shine, and they're a reminder to me of our unique mark, our unique doctrine of signature, right? Nature has put this unique stamp on us, and I fully embrace it. So hopefully I will see some of you in class tomorrow. The Goddess Cakes is tomorrow. So if you haven't, you're welcome to reserve your spot. There's also going to be a preparation for a 3-day nutritional fast and reset, waist beads training. That intensive is coming up soon. That's on the calendar. Lunchtime classes are in effect, so you're welcome to register for efficient, effective fitness and common sense nutrition. Flower Fit is every morning. That's early. And a cocoon is also on the schedule. So you can find all of that information at body-culinary.com. And also, if you're not able to get on the schedule, do feel free to avail yourself of the guide, Whole Living Foods in the Hood, Part 1, with menus to fit your budget. So that's all this know-how of living in a way that's focused around consuming whole, fresh fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and legumes as a way of life, not as a diet. So if you want to get off of the diet roller coaster and you'd love to have all of your nutrients coming in to your cells in the most bioavailable way, the most simplest way to do that is with your food. And you don't have to worry about gaining a whole lot of weight, because the whole natural food doesn't leave waste on your waist. right? There's also the guide, Natural Beauty, no products, only food. So I do put fruits and vegetables on my face and my skin. So taking off the table with the hair and the skin a lot of harmful chemicals. So the more I take off the table, the more space I have for relaxation, and then you can really track and trace where you can tweak or you need to be make changes in terms of your intake, especially when it comes to nutrition. So those are both available for you on body-culinary.com. Do feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you soon.